Good morning, guys, and welcome back to this beautiful Saturday morning here in Brisbane. If you guys don't know me, my name is Zach, and this right here is my 2008 Ford FG Falcon. So for a while now, I have been living with that aircon for like ages. And because we've just come out of winter, I didn't actually notice until last week when we started having some really hot days. So I got my aircon guy to come in and he basically said your condenser is screwed, there's a massive big hole in it, and I think I might have an idea why that is. Probably from my intercooler install. I didn't really pay that much attention to the condenser behind it. I ordered a brand new condenser. It's this one right here. It's just by Climate Cool. I've never actually heard of that brand before, but it was by Talk Parts on eBay. So I'm going to quickly open this up and yeah, let's get this thing installed. So I just brought it out of the box and I don't even know why I filmed this clip because there's literally nothing different comparing that one to the one that's already in my car, apart from this one actually works. I could say stuff like it's 1,000 horsepower rated, fully forged, built, genuine condenser for my AC. So yeah, we're definitely going to install this in my car because it's going to be making a whole heap more horsepower, and we're also going to have to get this one retuned after we install it too. I'm just kidding, guys. But yeah, we're going to pull the front bar off. Should be a fairly simple process. So as far as I know, front bar off, I'm going to probably take the intercooler out just to get easier access to all that sort of stuff as well. And the intercooler is like literally 2 to 4 bolts or something. So we're going to do that, and yeah, then hopefully we should be able to get this radiator out pretty quickly. Alright, so it's probably not going to help me whatsoever, but I'm going to take off the intercooler just to get easier access to all these little bolts and everything else, like just that one down there as well, because that will need to come off so I can get that, that condenser out. And then also, I'm thinking I might just quickly undo this and also take out the fans. It's pretty simple, and then that way I can sort of move the radiator back and forward to help me sort of get that condenser out and in without damaging the brand new one, which is right there. I'm not quite sure. I don't even know how I'm doing this, so we're just going to keep unbolting stuff until everything gets easy. Cool. So we just took off all the easy things, the fans and the intercooler and everything else as well, just to get easier access to everything at the front here, and that way I can move sort of everything back out the way if I really need to. But I think I found the culprit. If you guys can see just down here, it actually sits underneath where my intercooler would normally sit, but it looks pretty beat up right there. And as you can see, all of the fluid coming out of the bottom of that there, and that's all that, like, it's still dripping out right now, all this green dye. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to rip this thing out, which should be fairly straightforward now that I have absolutely everything out of the way, and we'll fit the new one in. This also looks pretty bad here too, and so does that. I'm glad I'm changing this out. It was probably on its last legs anyway. I also noticed in my brand new intercooler, I also bent a couple of fins. No! RIP Plasma Man intercooler. Nah, it's not RIP yet. She's got heaps of life left in her with my 440 horsepower. Whew. So quick. Wow, so fast. I like it. So one thing from Craig, from Craig's Auto Care said, he was the one that did all the aircon stuff last weekend and actually helped me find the issue. Basically, he said that when you're doing anything aircon related, you want to try and block out the hoses or the lines to try to stop as much air getting in as possible. So I grabbed a little bit of toilet paper, and so I'm just going to be using that as soon as I take the lines off. Just put a little piece of toilet paper up there because you want to try and limit all the oxygen or the air that's going into your lines as well. He said it doesn't really matter as much considering there's already a hole in your system, and because he's also going to do a complete air filter system. I'm not quite sure exactly what he said. He said it's not really much of an issue, but I want to just try and limit it as much as possible, just to make his job easier. So yeah, let's do that as well. Shouldn't really be too long now. I've kind of taken all the brackets off and everything else as well. Now, one thing I'm really annoyed about is the fact that because I don't want to do a whole another coolant flush like I did just last weekend, I'm going to have to retain these brackets here because I don't want to have to get to that little tiny bolt down there and also this bolt right in here. They just look like a pain to get to. So it's just going to be so much easier if I take this off and just bring it up that way. So here we can see the massive difference between the old and the new one. This is what that one used to look like. This one here is absolutely buggered. That bugger's been annoying me all day. But you can definitely see where it sort of started to leak down the very bottom of the condenser right here. I haven't actually seen the worst of it yet. I actually can't see any massive holes, but that's exactly where it was coming from. It's definitely the most annoying thing to do because you do have to take the whole front bar off and then the intercooler off and everything else as well, just to get to these little bolts with the bracket there. I mean, I'm sure you probably had some special tools that you could do that with, and then like remove the fan and then do a coolant flush at the same time, because you'd have to remove this pipe here to get the radiator out, lift the whole mechanism out, and then do it that way. But this is definitely probably the easiest way to do it. That way you can sort of get to everything. But it's just so annoying because there's so many things in the way before you get to it. So yeah, I'm glad I managed to do it in just a couple of hours. But we'll see how long it takes to get back in, because I'm pretty sure sliding it in and out is not the way that I want to go this time, especially right up against the radiator. So I'm going to see what I can do about trying to get it in a little bit cleaner, and then we'll bolt it all back in, see how she goes. Judging by the amount of feathers that I'm pulling off this radiator right here, I would say that my car's probably eaten a bird once upon a time. It could just be all the road stuff, but it's all the same color. So, yeah, gross. Alrighty, the new one's mocked up, all in at the moment. It looks way too new to be in my car. I just want to change out this cooler right now just to make it look all new and stuff. Nah, it looks really good. And also, as much as I wanted to put in all new brackets, because I didn't take the whole radiator out, it just wasn't even liable for me. And besides, you won't even see them behind the cooler anyway. But I just couldn't be bothered getting to these 4 bolts because I don't have any tools small enough to actually get in there. So I'll get it to it another day. Maybe in the very distant future when I decide to pull this thing off and maybe make a 1000 horsepower FG Barra Turbo. That'd be mint. All of the lines are on, the condenser's back in, the oil cooler's fitted up to the front. So now all that's left to do is to fit the intercooler back in the front, put the fans back in the back, and then she should be good for a tune. Dude, I'm so keen to make some more power to this thing. In all fairness, guys, I'm so happy to have aircon back. As I said, I only found out about it last 2 weeks, but the last 2 weeks I had super hot days. So I've been like driving, like going to work's fine because I can just like open the window a little bit and it's really nice in the morning. But coming home of an afternoon at about 4:30 with direct sunlight on you and just like sitting in traffic with no airflow is just horrible. So yeah, I'm so excited to have this thing back. How mean do these things look on the front? I say this every single time I have the front off the car. Check out that. That is so fat. You guys probably can't see because of the light. I just want to run it like this 24/7. So rad. Okay, so I just noticed something absolutely massive. I don't know how well you guys can see down there. It's not focused, but it won't focus at all. But you can see that the actual intercooler touches the condenser. And I just realized that this is the exact same position that it started to go on my last one. As you can see, right down here is where it touched, and then also right in there as well. And that would be the exact reason why it started leaking. So I'm thinking that the intercooler is not fitted properly, and that could be a number of things. I believe that possibly these might be around the wrong way. As you can see, I have a little bit more room to move the intercooler up. So these two things may be around the wrong way. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to quickly swap them over, so that way they're actually spaced out on the back instead of the front, and that way it should give us more clearance between one, the oil cooler, and then also two, the condenser down the very bottom there. So let's do that really quickly. That could be a massive issue and a reason as to why this one actually failed. Silly me, silly me. And just like that, you learn new things every single day. Check this out. So I just moved all of these rubber things around the opposite way. So instead of just having that much clearance, it has that much clearance. And look how much clearance it gave my oil cooler. Look, I can actually fit a whole hand down there now. Beforehand, I was actually just destroying this heatsink right here. As you can see, sort of down the bottom there, it was all just horrible. Now, as for the bottom, I'll see if I can quickly show you guys with my camera if I flip out my screen and point it up there. There you go. Look how much clearance I got. You guys can see I got like almost a full finger width. And now another thing I also noticed up the very bottom there, as well, as you can see, I also have a little bit of clearance up there too. But if you guys can see on my fingers, basically that would be dirty refrigerant fluid that came from the back of my intercooler, and my back of my intercooler is actually covered in refrigerant fluid. But I cleaned it all off. But if you guys can, that right there is exactly where these two little notches are in my condenser. And this one here was the one that actually went, because you can see all the dye and everything else. It's kind of around that area there. This area hadn't gone in so far, but even just, what are you doing, Siri? Just turn off.
Just going over this long list of local movie session times. I'm a big fan of 6:20 and 7:10, 2 and 9:45. That's a classic.
What? So yeah, you guys can see just by changing around the placement of where these are, I've just gotten like at least a centimeter's worth of clearance down the entire condenser front. I did also check the condenser down the very bottom just to make sure I haven't damaged this one here as well. This one here looks a-okay, so that's all good. So if you guys do have the 700 horsepower rated Plasma Man stage 1 intercooler, definitely make sure that you have these around this way, otherwise it will just eat your condensers. And also your oil coolers, but mostly your condensers. And to be honest, I'd prefer air conditioning than a running engine. So, yeah.
Ryan Little.
Now Gene, just before you say anything about the way that I took off my front bar and put it back on, he's gonna be like, but there's 2 bolts at the back that hold it on, it would have been so much easier, you wouldn't have to do the 1200 bolts at the front. He's not fast because he doesn't have underglow, and the reason I can't pull off my front bar like that is because of the underglow. So if you're gonna get mad at me, Gene, look out, because I'm coming, boy, I'm coming. Alrighty, she's back together. She hasn't got AC yet, but as soon as we get it all sorted, we'll definitely be getting straight onto that in the car. We're just going to be sitting in the car for hours just with the AC on. Yeah, I'm really starting to like this grill, by the way. If you guys didn't watch the last video, I was actually sponsored a nice badgerless grill from Immaculate. Now this is a full stainless grill, and it's just like it's like really thin. powder coated gloss black. It looks really clean and sleek on the car. He puts a lot of R&D into all of, oh God, I almost fell over. He puts a lot of R&D into all of his products just to make sure that they fit right, to make sure they look nice. As for laser cutters, powder coaters, and the way that he makes them properly, yeah, he does a lot of different work for my car. And he also was the one that provided me with my turbo side intake when I first got the car. And as you guys know, this turbo side intake sounds absolutely amazingly. It's a 4-inch Mackie Lex system, and he's got the little diamond cut XR6 turbo logo on the very top as well. It looks mad on my engine bay. I'm loving how this thing's coming along. I'm just hating the battery colors. So stupid. Oh well, we'll get there one day. Now I wanted to give this a test just today, just to see what you guys think. If you guys did like the video, remember to leave a like. I would really appreciate getting all these likes and all these comments in the likes and the comment section bit. Because at the moment, my algorithm's kind of like down, and I kind of want to try and raise it back up so that way I can start getting like a whole heap of views on videos again. So yeah, if you guys actually do like the video or do want to support me, remember to just leave a like and a comment. That would be absolutely amazing because every single one of those does help. So yeah, it just, you know, helps me trying to make this thing my dream job. And yeah, we can get there quicker every single like at a time. So I'm more than happy. So thanks guys, and thank you for everyone that actually does end up liking the videos anyway. So that's awesome. You guys are legends. And also I wanted to apologize that this video is probably a little bit long. Yesterday, or over actually the last week, since about, I think about Monday, I went into work, and like just before I walked in, I went to go grab my bag out of my car. Now my bag's fairly heavy. So I went to go grab it out the back of the car, and I kinked my back. So over the last week, which is why you guys haven't been seeing videos, over the last week I've been suffering from a really bad backache or just back issues. I do know that I have scoliosis, and I've suffered with it for a little bit, but it's never been really bad until now. And so yesterday I went to the doctors, and basically they said, once again, you have scoliosis, and I said yes. I know that, I've known that for a couple of years, and they said, yeah, it's getting a little bit worse than what it was. So they recommended that I go see a chiropractor or a or whatever they're called. And so I went there, and they sort of cracked my back a couple of different ways, so it's still very sore, but we're getting there. I don't think that working on my car today helped, but we're definitely getting there. But it really does hurt to hold the camera, and it's really hurting right now. So, so yeah, we're gonna get back into the videos, guys, but I don't think I'll be working on my car for a little bit just yet. It's affecting my work, it's affecting vlogs. So just over the last week, it's been really painful. So over the next few videos, I might just try and drive a little bit and see how that goes. But yeah, I mean, you guys like the driving videos anyway, so I'm glad. And also, another big thing that happened just yesterday, we actually got an ABN. So we're an official business. We are an official ZacBaldy business right now. And that's all thanks to you guys buying all the merch on the website. That's all thanks to you guys that watch my videos, that subscribe, that like, that comment, that do everything else as well to rank my views higher. We've officially reached the limit as to where this becomes not only just a hobby, but a business now. And so I've started learning, you know, enough from it that maybe one day I might be able to make this a reality. But we're getting there. We're getting there very slowly. So you guys, that's pretty much it for me today. I'm pretty buggered, and my back's aching a little bit too much to start working on cars. But tomorrow is going to be hopefully a pretty good day. I might be meeting up with some friends to go do a quick little couple of laps of either Mount Glorious or Clear Mountain. So that should be a really fun video, which I might just put the mic and the GoPro and everything else on my car, and that should be a really cool video. But all in all, I want to give a massive thank you to all you guys for watching. Remember to leave a like and subscribe if you guys did like this video. And yeah, I will see you guys in 2 days time, hopefully. All right, see you guys later. Bye.